So today's topic, first Tuesday of September, is breaking the autopilot loop. I feel like, did we touch on this a little bit last week where we just talked about getting stuck in our habits? I feel like we always touch on this at least a little bit.
I think we might have mentioned something about routines.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And that's really what it is, right? Like you get into a routine, you get into habits. And a lot of times, if you're not doing like self audits or journaling or checking in with yourself, you get stuck in an autopilot loop that you're not even aware that you're in, where things just flow. Like your thoughts are the same, your habits are the same, and you're not really like living with intention. You're not living by making conscious choices daily. And I think that's really like one of the first steps to figuring out your self development is like, how many times in the day can you catch yourself like, why am I doing this? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this what I want to be doing? Is this what's feeding my goals and my dreams and getting me to a higher space?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there because a lot of people don't normally necessarily either take audit of their routine or plan it intentionally, like you said. And especially if you're not only if you're running a business, but if you're also supplementing that business with another job and there are obligations in your schedule that you can't change that kind of then dictate everything else around it. You have to be careful because if you're not conscious of it, let's say, for example, like your morning routine, if you have a
Hmm.
certain place you have to be by a specific time and you're not intentional about what your morning looks like, it just can run by you. Or maybe not every day looks the same exactly, but it's a little bit here and there. Oh, I wake up and I rush out the door and I whatever. Oh, I just eat breakfast and then I leave. Or instead of giving yourself even just 5 minutes makes a big difference. And I think sometimes people don't always realize that either, is that you could just set a timer for 5 minutes to set your intentions for the day, and that would really be a game changer for people.
Absolutely. And I've been like recently trying to get back into being more intentional about my mornings. I'm just laughing because the goal is like an hour of Monica time, and that doesn't happen. I definitely never ever get an hour. But I have been adamant about 15 minutes. So I give myself a 10-minute meditation and a 5-minute journal sesh.
Mm.
And every time I think about not doing it, because I'm like, could just open the laptop. I could just get right to work, grab my coffee, and sit down. Every time I think about it, I'm like, no, you deserve 15 minutes. And that's how I just keep reframing it for myself. No, you deserve 15 minutes of just getting your mind right. And every time it makes such a difference in my day. Such a difference. And that's just part of breaking that autopilot loop of wake up, whatever it is, get on the laptop and forget about all the things that you promised that you were going to do for yourself. And even though like the work I'm doing is for myself, right? Like I all the work I do is for my businesses, but it's still like an outside entity, right? Out that the businesses support my life, but they're not like feeding me. They're not making my inner world better. And if your inner world is jacked up and you're not starting it by feeding yourself something, then your whole day can just run off. And before you know it, you'll just keep putting it off and putting it off, and it just doesn't happen. And my goal for next week is to make, if I can make 15 minutes non negotiable, I'm going to make 30 minutes non negotiable. That way I can somehow get to an hour.
So, what is it that is blocking the hour currently? Things popping up.
Literally, yeah, things will something will pop up on my phone, or I'm like, oh, I have to answer to that, and I don't have to. If another 15 minutes went by, I wouldn't. But I feel this like I am still battling my own like needing to be productive voices. So it'll just be like, what do you don't need another half an hour. Just open the laptop, get to work. You can do that later. Or we'll do it tomorrow. The same shit that we talk about. It all happens to me. You're already awake. Like you're already sitting down after your meditation. Just open your laptop. And that's just what ends up happening. And I just get right into it.
I
So
definitely think people that are running their own businesses, especially full time, it is a big battle of I have to wake up and get started on business.
immediately,
And business is always going to be there. And
always.
I think exactly what you were alluding to of your businesses aren't necessarily feeding you. Like you have to feed yourself in order to even just feed your own businesses.
Hmm?
And that's the piece that a lot of people miss is there is value. I think the issue is that because most people see value as a monetary thing, they miss out on the value that I think is greater than the monetary side of things when you do take care of yourself and put yourself first.
For sure. For sure. It is a battle. It is always such a battle. And like recently, I wrote this down this morning during my 5 minutes that I gave myself, where I just keep putting off like once that 10,000 a month is consistent, then I'm just gonna die straight. Once it's on autopilot, I'm just it's gonna be all about me. And so I just keep like putting it off
Mm.
until that 10,000 is consistent. That's what I have in my head. And obviously I know that's not sustainable. So I'm trying to be better about, this is think about this if you were talking to someone else. That's always that works for me because like I will pour into someone else easier than I can for myself. So I'll be like, what would you tell someone else that was in your position? And you'd be like, ma'am, an hour is not going to make or break your business. Sit your ass down and give yourself that hour. Because I would love to do a 30-minute meditation and a 10-minute journaling and then 20-minute stretch. Like that would be ideal. But the entire time it's just in my head. You should post today. You need to finish that sales page. You need to create another email sequence. You know that this and this is waiting for you. You should check the pricing of your property. You haven't gotten booked for the last 2 days of September. Check your price. All of this like just runs in my head constantly. So it's work in progress.
Aklima, were you going to add something to that?
I was just going to say something that Monica said related to that is that so as I'm moving into this new business that I'm starting, I'm still doing freelance work, like I'm still on contract with a client and I bill hourly. And something recently happened where if somebody messages, I have everything coming to my phone. Who doesn't? Everything is
Always.
right
Hmm.
there. And I know I shouldn't, but the role I'm in, it's community manager. So I can stay on top. I know what's happening even if I don't answer it. But then there were some instances where somebody would message and it was such a quick answer that I would just open up my phone regardless, even if I was like watching a show, even if I was like doing something. Oh, I'm cooking dinner. Let me just take 2 minutes. And for me, I always saw it as, well, that's just 2 minutes. Like I could answer this. I know the answer. Here it is. There you go. The end. And then I started seeing it from the other side of things. Whereas if I'm billing per hour, that is time I am taking out of my day, but not billing.
Hmm.
So it's those boundaries that I started to really let blur and piggybacking on your time for me kind of thing that to me on one hand it was like oh this is such an easy thing I don't even need to worry about it tomorrow I'll answer them today so not only did I take time away from whatever I was doing which was off hours but also I started to almost create this expectation where if it took me longer to respond they were like did you get my message and I was like oh shoot
You've
nobody did
set
this
that
but me.
expectation.
I've set that expectation. Talking about me time and setting aside that time, I think it's so important to make sure that if you dedicate time to businesses or other things, that you intentionally stick to those boundaries. And I have such a hard time of, like I said, I'm just like, I can do this right now. It's piece of cake. But that is infringing on time that then that's not me respecting my own time. So how can I expect somebody else to respect it?
It's
Absolutely.
huge.
Huge.
It's crazy because I feel like with our phones, and I'm starting to dive into this myself, is being very specific on the apps that I allow my phone. Like, and it's funny because I knew you could do this, but I never looked into how to do it, of setting specific time blocks for specific apps. I think is super helpful. And I don't know if you're iPhone or Android, I'm sure there's ways to do it either way, but being able to be like, okay, from this time to this time, I can't open these apps. And if you needed to, for whatever reason, you could unblock it for a limited amount of time or what have you. But I find it very helpful that if I have the ability to open the app and I see it, sometimes I just do it for whatever app it may be, like different like school communities or Trello or whatever, and then throw in social media into the mix. And I think it's very important for us to make our phones be able to be more of a weapon for us than against us.
For sure. Yeah, like you set your boundaries for it, right? I always hear the complaint like, ugh, social media is so terrible. I don't have that feeling. I really don't. I have curated my social media so much that it's nothing yucky. It can be distracting, sure, but mine's never yucky. Like I never see stuff that I'm like, oh, this is terrible. I wish I hadn't seen that. Or here comes another person like complaining. Mine's not that. Mine is okay. So it can get a little bit comparison-y if you allow that, right? So you can be like, oh my gosh, this person just hit $50,000 a month or whatever. You can get yourself into that. I don't have that issue as much as I have like, I just need to be productive.
But you have positivity on your feed versus
A
most
hundred
people would
percent.
say they have some negativity in
A
theirs.
100%. But you have control over that, just like you were saying, you have control over when you use your apps. And it's taking back that power. And one of the things that's literally like on my list of changes I want to make so that I do give myself that time in the morning is not because you, again, on Androids, I don't know how it's like on Apple, but you can create what are called routines so that you can have it so that you don't see any notifications for the first hour from when you wake up, and it tracks that by you picking up your phone. I just need to set that up so that I'm not feeling, oh, I should respond to these school comments or I should
Hmm.
respond to whatever it is because like I just feel obligated.
And
But then I get
like
it
Aklima said too, sometimes you see the notification, you're like, oh, I could answer that really
in
quickly.
two
Like,
seconds. Yeah,
but that adds up and it is
it adds
distracting.
up. And for me, it's a trigger. Once I start, it's just I might as well just get working. So it's not just a 2 second thing. It's oh now we're just heading downhill on this roller coaster of work.
What you got, Sheila?
I have found notification or turn off notifications in this, put it in sleep mode for my Instagram at any rate, because I honestly have no problem not looking at anything first thing in the morning because I'm just ready for a coffee. And the other thing that happened with us, with my husband and I, were empty nesters, we were at home, is he would get home and I'd be, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. And then we would have nothing for dinner. And so now I also like to, I read some news, right? In the morning, I have my coffee and I do get on my phone to look at the headlines, what happened, who exploded, what country got obliterated overnight, all that good stuff. So I spend about half an hour. I also get up at 5:30 and to have that quiet time. And then I have time with my husband to talk about the day. And then he said, we're just talking about the beach. So we'll go down to the beach for a swim. We're doing that at 3:30. So that's important for me. Now I don't have
Mm.
any problem actually. And that's an hour of my time. So I don't do anything before, and I don't have my email on my phone either for work, my corporate job. It's interesting. I don't have a problem not looking at my phone. So just a side note there.
I like this 1 hour, no first hour, no phones. I gotta do that. I gotta do no phone for the first hour.
And I like how you can customize what you can see because
Mm,
I like to check like my sleep score and stuff. I'll look at my Trello board and get myself organized. What you were saying, Monica, it made me think about like when your brain is popping off and you're like, oh, I got to do this and this. I'm eating breakfast and I'm like doing my to-do list for the day. And that's
yeah,
so much better than like where it was just beforehand because I would see it. And sometimes I'll click on like Facebook and Instagram and I'm like, why did I even click this? Like I didn't need to. I just saw it and because I
mm,
saw it, I thought to do it, but I literally, I'm like, I think I was just on here. So
yeah.
yeah.
No, it can be a slippery slope of auto programming, right? Like literally the autopilot of this is just what I do every morning, and your body just it loves routine, and it's just about shaping that routine to be what actually serves you versus what you're used to.
Yeah, I like the shift you have here where it says things are just the way they are, changing that to I have the power to notice, disrupt, and choose differently.
Yeah, that notice is a big one.
Yeah. And I think too, I don't know if anyone else has any feedback on where they're at currently, but I think a good exercise for anyone that maybe isn't sure what their habits look like. I think we've talked about this before, but the exercise of where you write what you're doing, is it like t every 20 minutes of your day or something?
Yeah.
And then you can start to see what are your patterns. Do that for 3 days this week and start to see what you can catch in that.
Yeah, you can just set an alarm on your phone that comes up every 20 minutes. And it doesn't have to be like a loud alarm, it can be a silent alarm, since we just talked about how we're always looking at our phone. So it can just be sitting, it'll pop up and just say, write down what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
What's up, Lauren?
Yo, yo.
Yo,
I just purged my Instagram, deleted it because I just, I don't know, there was just a lot of stuff on there that I was like, what am I even following? Like, why am I following this? And I feel like I cycle through, I think Facebook friends list is something that I'm constantly just trying to shave down because I've
Right.
had it for a while. And some of the people on there I'm friends with, but I don't necessarily want those people knowing the more minutia details of my
Yeah.
life. Not like I post a bunch of personal stuff on there, but sometimes I post some stuff and sometimes I'm a little bit direct about things. And I'll get DMs of people just with their opinions. And when you post, you open yourself up to that. And I get it. But at the same time,
People are weird.
I'll be subjected to my own ignorance as much as possible. I don't necessarily care what people have to say, but when that message is in my inbox or when there are people reacting, responding, whatever, then it's hard not to look away from that.
They're also usually the same people. And so that's
Right?
probably why you're like, let me
And
just
I'm
remove this person.
exactly. That was my next point. It was just
Mm-hmm.
like when I start auditing those people, I find that it is the same people. And I'm like, why do I care? Does their opinion really matter? Like, I'm trying to audit the source. And then three is, do I even want this person in my life kind of thing? And if it's no across the board, then that person's not going to be in my
Mm-hmm.
friends list.
Yeah.
And and I've done it with people that I've known forever, and it's not really anything personal because the way that I see it is social media, it's not real. It's not real. Like people are literally sharing the highlight reels of what's going on in their life. There's a select few where some people are sharing more vulnerable aspects and things, and I respect those. I think that there's a happy medium. I don't really want to indulge or engage with people who share everything,
No,
especially
there's like a
every
level of
negative
like just
thing.
trauma dumping.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like this is not trauma bonding circle time.
Right.
This is just like someone is posting, I'm really struggling. Like my wife just was diagnosed with whatever, or like me, I lost my dog. I had to lay my dog to rest this weekend. And that I was telling my partner I didn't think it was going to affect me as much as it did, but I've been bereft all day, all the past few
Yeah, I
days.
had no idea. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. She was 18. She like lived two, almost three lives for some dogs,
For
but
sure.
still it's loss. And
Yeah.
so I shared pictures, things like that, whatever. But with some people who are just like posting, or it's like their relationship status is a revolving door, and it's oh my
I didn't
god,
even know that was still a thing.
I'm so in love, or and then oh my god, like I hate this person like within the same week almost. That's
No, thank you.
no, thank you.
I found the
Yeah.
one.
What did you say,
Uh,
LaQuinn?
I said, I found the one, and then trying to kill him the
oh
next
my,
week. But no,
yeah.
thank you.
That's again that curation, right? Like you still have, like you were saying, unfollowing and being able to block people and just getting out of the habit of entertaining that shit.
Yeah,
You really don't
Precisely.
have to. You don't have to entertain it. You can
yeah.
completely ignore it or
Thank
unfollow
you.
or whatever. I don't know anything about any of those things anymore
Yeah,
at
taking
all.
charge of what you can control.
Absolutely.
Thanks. You want to get
Just
into some of these discussion questions, Monica?
Yeah. Where am I living on repeat without questioning why? And that's that one that we were just saying, that notice is the first thing of noticing something that you catch yourself doing repeatedly and that you're like, why am I doing this? This doesn't serve me. This doesn't even feel good. This doesn't feel grounded. This doesn't feel like it's bringing me closer to where I want to be or doesn't give me energy, whatever it might be. Have you guys Can you think of anything that pops up besides what we just talked about? The social media.
Yeah, so I can answer that. One of the main things that I find myself just outside of social media is eating certain things when I know I shouldn't be. When I found that that's my vice of sorts. I find myself doing it when I know I have my card on me. One of the things that I help stop that, like just eating like junk food when I can be just leaving my card at home, just having enough for certain things that I need throughout the day. That could just be $20 for groceries this week and just leave what I need that leave at home and just get into the habit of not eating like crap, which I've been pretty good about. And yeah, it's worked so far. Just got to
Awesome.
get
You did a
just
pattern
get
disruptor.
yes, yes. Now I am gonna get thank you. Now I am gonna get to the jobs, but that's gonna be a little tricky, but it's not a big deal. Just got to look at my schedule, be realistic with it, and apply that structure. Because I am a person of structure, just like I said before. Just got to structure it to where it serves me.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's good when you're aware and it's something that you desire as, hey, I don't want to do this habit. You are already considering the things that are coming up that might make it a challenge and then just getting ahead of that while you can.
And one of the things that I feel like is helpful in situations like that, when you notice something that you no longer want to contribute to or allow to keep happening, is having something to replace it with. Because a lot of times that like denial feels really like hard to get past, but you're not able to name it that at the beginning. You don't realize that you're like denying yourself something. So instead of to be able to play with our brains, trick it back because it plays games with us all the time, replace it with something else. Something that I have found, one of my like old past bad habits was late night scroll and shop. Random shit would pop up. I'd be like, this looks interesting, and I would buy it. And the way that I broke myself of that was to, instead of buying it, imagine that same dollar amount going into my bank account. So I would literally watch that $15, $25, whatever it was, that would just be some dumbass purchase I didn't need. And I would envision it depositing into my account. And that changed so much of the dumb crap that I would buy that I just stopped doing it. But it took a little while of I would literally get to the checkout button. I'd put in all my credit card information and everything. And I was literally about to hit checkout and then I'd look at that total and be like, close the window. But you got to give yourself like something else. So I don't know if it's eating things that aren't great for you. Instead, just if you're going to go to the store, get a bottle of water or get something else that feeds that urge to get something, or get an apple, get a fruit cup, get something that's replacing the thing that you're not supposed to have. And then you're going to be like, I don't actually need a fruit cup. And you might not buy anything. I don't know. But giving yourself something else that can feed that urge of whatever it is. Pattern disruptor.
For me, the pattern instructor that I have planned out for that would be go to the gym, go home, and get a little healthy snack if I need to. But
Mm-hmm.
other than that, make sure I'm in bed by 11, wake up at 6:30 or 7. That's the plan that I have for that. Just stay consistent with the little system.
There you go.
The next one is, what am I tolerating because it feels easier than changing? Oh, Klima, go ahead.
I don't know if this question or example falls into these, but I'm
I'm
gonna
sure it
ask
does.
anyways. So last week I was mentioning how I had become more aware of my actions and choosing to intentionally do something where those build up and then become autopilot in a positive as opposed to a negative. The thing that I am struggling with and is that I can have that frame of mind and make those decisions and be consciously aware of those when everything is going great. But if something is not going great, all of a sudden that starts to slip as well. And I find myself like, okay, I don't know if anybody's heard of the book called Feel Free to Prosper or the course Feel Free to Prosper. It's a lot about manifestation and intention and living with intention and all of that. And the reason why I bring it up is because I've been doing it for the past 2 or 3 weeks and it's been great, but it's because things have been great. And then the last week of the month comes and then bills are coming up and the invoice hasn't come up. And then all of a sudden, everything is not everything, but things start to slip. I think I'm struggling with that. And I don't know if anybody has some ideas on how to change that, how to catch yourself, or advice for me to stop and then get back to where it's supposed to be. Yeah, that's what I'm struggling with.
That sounds like an autopilot where this is just what happens when things aren't going smooth. When things don't go smooth, just let yourself get derailed. And I think one, give yourself kudos for recognizing that because I do think that's a big deal. A lot of people are just like, I don't know what happens. You know what happens, right? You know exactly where it starts to go off track. And then I would sit with it and try to figure out the first signal that comes up and then how things get off track. Do you just not read the book anymore? Do you not do the practices? Do you not do the journaling? And what are you doing instead of the things that you want to be doing?
That's
Like, is
fair.
it you
Yeah.
ruminate? Do you,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Those are the things that I would try to find where things get off track
Yeah.
and then identify the things
Yeah.
that pop up that our ego throws in our way because it's, aha, see, you thought you could outsmart me. You're still failing, or whatever the stupid story it's trying to tell you, and try to find where those little inserts happen that push everything off track.
Yeah,
And then identify.
that makes a lot of sense because like I said, when things are good, somewhat good, whatever, it's the I am supported, the universe supports me, everything is fantastic. And then when something isn't, or I'm like starting to get a little bit anxious, it's I'm not effing supported, nothing is there, nothing's gonna help me. You know what I mean? It's
But that's
like
literally so. I was just listening to a podcast. It's called, shoot, hold on. It is called, I literally was just listening to it, but I'm going to tell you while I'm looking it up. They were talking about how these are like little tests from the universe because all of that sounds like really cute. God, universe, whoever you want to, this isn't specific to a title, but it's called Expanded. And it's by these chicks who run this community called To Be Magnetic. And in this, they're talking about these little tests that'll come up where it's so you think you're cool, you believe in the universe, you believe that God got you, you believe that all of these things are working for you, whatever they are. And then now I want to test your belief by seeing if you still believe when shit goes off the rails. Do you still believe? Do you think that this is happening for you, or are you going to fall back into, and I'm not calling you a victim because I do it too, but do you fall back into the victim mindset of this is happening to me? Why is this happening? I can't ever get ahead. I'm not smart enough. I'm not disciplined enough. I'm not doing something right. Whatever bullshit starts popping up in your head, which is why I was saying, like, try to find that like trigger point where, and the bills are coming due and you're like, I don't know how this is going to happen. Recognize that first thought that pops up and just say, I'm curious. I wonder how this is going to work out. Because I'm going to keep doing what I need to do to make it the best it can be. But me worrying about it isn't going to make money appear. It's just not. And so you just get curious. You're just like, wonder how I'm going to figure this out. I
I
wonder
think
where this money's going to come from. Or I
I think
wonder how
also thinking about, because it sounds like it's almost like a cycle and it's a pattern. So if you know that you come through it on the other side, reminding yourself of that and what that looks like. Because sometimes it's
right.
one of those things in the moment, but you have to remind yourself, like, okay, I've navigated through this before, or this is similar to another situation and I know I can get through it. Yeah, just taking that second to remind yourself of that too, that you're going to
Right.
get through it.
Because, like you said,
Hmm.
it's a pattern that happens. So it's last month somehow I made it. I don't know how, but I made it last month. I made it the month before. And so just opening yourself up to that curiosity. Go ahead, Lauren.
As I was listening, I was just thinking of how I am because I usually end up catastrophizing things to a large degree when in reality they're not that
Me too.
serious.
Me too.
And it's a monthly thing. It's my own PMS cycle. But the thing is, it's easy to get wrapped up at the smaller details. And I'm not making excuses. It's not the correct term or the correct reference for it. But it's almost like looking for lightning rods to strike at And it's just, okay, I'm feeling this way. I'm feeling insecure. Or I'm feeling overwhelmed. So it's like I start looking at these details that really don't have much weight or bearing on what's going on. But I'm just looking for something to either be upset at or blame. And I'm not necessarily saying that's what's going on in your situation, but it's more so of just, it's almost like a form of procrastination and getting wrapped up in things that, not taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture. It's like putting it on the pedestal. You know
For
what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah. No, that's exactly what it is, Aklima. It is looking for something to validate the fear. That's
Mm.
literally what it is. Your ego is be scared, be worried, like things are going too smoothly. There's something to be afraid about. There's something to be nervous about. And it wants those fears, things to come up for you so that it has a problem to solve. It
Mhm.
wants a problem to solve. And it's like, I don't know how that is helpful right now. And
Yeah.
if you can talk to yourself that way, like, I'm not sure how all of this ruminating is actually going to help. What I'm going to do is do my best. I'm going to recognize that this keeps coming up for me. I'm going to breathe into my heart because that's where you can feel it get tight. You can feel your chest get hot. Your stomach starts to tighten up. And if you can breathe into all of that, like deep breaths in and then exhale and feel that energy leaving your body and do that as many times as it takes. I definitely recommend at least 5. And feeling like that when we get into those moments, you start like shallow breathing, where
Yeah.
you're just like surviving and you're not giving your body, your nervous system time to regulate. So giving yourself that few deep breaths and exhales that are longer than your inhales and giving yourself that time to center back, it feels way less massive. It feels like such a
Mhm.
smaller issue. And then just keep reminding yourself of, is this actually going to solve whatever fear, whatever problem is coming up for me? It's probably not, right? And you can thank your ego, you can thank your mind for trying to solve whatever problem it came up with. But oftentimes this comes up because we feel unsafe, we feel unsecure. And so giving yourself that reminder that you are safe, you are secure, and everything that
Mhm.
is meant to happen will can bring you back to that centered space where you can move forward and do what actually is going to help you feel better about the situation or recognize that the situation is not going anywhere. Like these are just
Mhm.
thoughts that come up every month. They come up every however often and they don't actually do anything. They don't have any meaning. They don't have any validation. They're just thoughts.
I would say hold on to the truths too, because you talked about
Mhm.
how, when things are going well, you know that the universe is working for you. Even in the things that feel like it's not, reminding yourself that you don't always see the bigger picture. It makes me think of that story. I forget exactly how it goes, but like the guy who's always like, we'll see, where they're like, they
Yeah.
come to his door and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, so and so broke their leg. That sucks. And he's like, oh, we'll see. You
Hmm.
never know how the outside things are working for you, even when it may not feel that way. And just reminding yourself of the things that you do know that are truths. And that's where faith comes in. Like you have to have that faith of, I know what is meant for me comes to me, like Monica was saying,
Mhm.
and all those things.
I would also add to that and just say that I think just in your mind, even if it's like the odds might be stacked against you, and oftentimes, like in life, like they are, but at the same time, it's all on how you look at it and what you focus on, you manifest and create. So if you assume that things are going to work out, they will work out. We don't really see, we can only focus on things that are like right here, right now. We can envision what's going on 10, 20 feet ahead of us, but in reality, we will really never know what is happening until it's actually in front of us. So if I go on a walk, this is going to sound kind of morbid or whatever, but if I go walk on the sidewalk, I'm just going to assume that everything's going to be okay. No car is going to derail off the road and hit me, whatever. There's a possibility that could happen, but I'm going to assume everything is going to work out and things are going to be fine. Same thing for just like monthly situation. Like I know bills are going to come up. I know I have to pay them. I know that feeling kills me every time, every time those dates roll around. But they're going to get paid. I'm going to have the money to do it, and I'm going to have plenty of money left over. That is my assumption for the situation. Same thing if you're having a difficult conversation with a friend or a client. It's just, man, like this conversation can go this way or that way. Well, assume that it's going to go that way, which is the positive direction. And if it doesn't, it's not meant to be. So you got to focus on what you create.
Absolutely. And always remind yourself that you're going to do your best. I'm always going to do my best with the
Mm.
information that I have, the circumstances that are in front of me. I'm just going to do my best. And that's all I can do. That is what is in your control. And I remember we've been at this for a while, but I remember one time we were having a conversation and Ray was with us. And we had that whole like writing it down. It's so interesting. I wrote this down somewhere because writing down bad things or things that we perceive as bad, right? Like the catastrophes, writing down worst case scenarios, when you reread them, they seem so like small or unlikely. But if you write down your dreams, they seem so magical and massive. And so it's like it almost has this, I don't know, it like brings it to reality. And so maybe try that. Like literally write out worst case scenario. I won't be able to pay my
Mhm.
bills. My mortgage will be late. My whatever thoughts that pop into your head. And then you're gonna be like, okay, so I'm gonna get a late fee. My credit's gonna take a hit and I'm gonna work my way back. And that does suck. I'm not minimizing those things. But when you think about how minuscule that seems compared to my life is gonna be over, which is what it feels like when it's rolling around in your head. Because it happens to me all the time.
It's important too to touch on these two journal prompts for the reframe. I like them a lot. So if
Me
you
too.
guys have some time to go over it later this week, definitely refer back to the document. But just for you guys right now to think about what routine, thought, or behavior no longer serves me. And if I were designing my life intentionally, what would I replace it with?
Yeah. Because you can. That's the
Yeah.
beauty.
You
Like
want to
that
talk
is the
about the
beauty.
tools, Monica?
Yeah.
I like those too.
Me too. The pause one. This is where, again, you can take that like daily audit where you can set a reminder on your phone for every 20 minutes or every hour or whatever it is, and just take a moment to pause and think, am I doing this out of habit? Is this actually serving my higher good? Am I choosing to do this right now? Is this something that I could potentially be doing something else? And that can be particularly helpful if you're someone who gets stuck doing the scroll, right? It might be very helpful to have something that pops up like, whoa, what are you doing? Because I am not a scroller unless I hop on Instagram to do something, like one thing, and then I just get stuck. And I'm like, damn, how did it, what? It's been 10 minutes? I'm not supposed to be on here right now. This is what I didn't even do what I came here for. Just having something that can pop up and disrupt you if you're not someone that has built up that notice, but that notice reaction. And then the other one is a chain of scenery. Oh, I could talk about this all day. Getting outside and walking. Like my greatest ideas come to me when I'm out walking. And I do not have any phone situation while I'm walking. No notifications, no nothing. That is my time to be out there. And that could be something different for you. If you're someone who, works from home all of the time, giving yourself, grabbing your laptop, getting in your car and driving somewhere nice, like a park or the beach or whatever, could completely get you out of whatever headspace you're in, especially if it's a headspace that doesn't feel productive or serving you. And then the micro choice. This is the my little 15 minutes where I try to do something very intentional and it can just stack. So, picking something that every day you do fully present, whether that is your morning coffee routine, or you're just really excited because you're about to make yourself the best cup you've ever had, or eating your lunch, like no notifications, no nothing, like taste your food, having time for meditation, reading. Those are all like little things where you can bring your awareness to like the present moment and not just being on autopilot. And this is that pattern swap that I was talking to LaQuint about, which is whatever it is that you normally do, putting something else in its place so that it doesn't feel like you've left a gap or you've left like a hole in whatever you were trying to avoid doing or whatever doesn't necessarily bring positive energy into your life. Like being able to have something that you can swap it with that is a conscious choice that you're making, not an automatic choice.
Love it. Those are good.
Yeah. Little things, right?
Little things.
All the little things. There's so many. They make up a whole day.
Anyone else have anything they want to add?
I've been soaking this all in and trying to figure out where I fit in into today's topic and just answering questions in my own head and so forth. And a lot of what you guys are speaking about is literally it. That whole waking up and grabbing your phone shit, man, that is so toxic. I feel like vomiting every time I do it. But I do it out of forced habit. So it's something that I'm trying to break. And I think it was Jackie who said, you grab your phone and I see you're fucking scrolling on Instagram. What are you doing? That's not even what you grabbed your phone for, like at all. But it's literally just a terrible habit that I'm working on. So autopilot for sure is the phone. The phone is terrible. I go to, and this is gonna get real personal real quick, but I go to use the restroom and I will crap my pants before I can find my phone. It's sad. But wait, let me go to the other side of the house, 1,600 feet away to go grab my phone because I need it for the bathroom. That is ridiculous. It's sad. It's terrible. So that whole autopilot, I'm trying to break. The phone thing is probably one of my worst. And doing things with intention, that's something that I'm trying to do right now. Since like sometimes I'll even put an audiobook on. I'm listening to You Are a Badass. I think this is the second time because it sounds really familiar. But I'm listening to it, but my brain is going elsewhere. So I have to bring myself back. No, you're not thinking about that. Just random shit. And I got to bring myself back to be with intention. Lately, my other things I'm doing is I'm giving myself props where I can. Hey, you didn't drink water today, but you took your vitamins.
Did you take them with water?
Yeah.
Maybe wine that day. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. But you know what I'm saying? You didn't drink enough water is what I'm going to say, but you did this. Or you didn't get to that, but you baked and you cooked. And I love doing that, especially under stress. It's like my go away is cooking or being in the kitchen. But just doing things with intention is something huge. So, all right, maybe you didn't get to folding the clothes and put them away, but you put them in the washer and you dried them. There's an accomplishment whether they got folded or put away or not. So these little things, it's just the autopilot thing that I'm trying to break is also downing yourself. Like at the end of the night, thinking of all the negative things that can keep you up further when at the end of the day, unless you're going to get the hell up and actually go into action and do them, why are you thinking about it right now? So try to clear the mind off. So that whole autopilot loop is, I was literally just taking everybody's information in. But I'm trying to break certain things that I am in autopilot of, but it's not easy. And I feel like it's something that this is a new thing because there was no autopilot in 1995. There was no, maybe I'm wrong. I was 7 years old, so maybe I'm completely wrong.
I think there's always been something, right? Like people always talk about somehow I got home, I don't remember how. Like they just
one too many drinks. But just toxicity wise, like it's just so much more toxic. Life is so much more toxic today than it was 30 years ago. It probably was toxic, but we didn't get to see it all day, every day in front of our face.
I think that our distractions are just more accessible.
Also, exactly. So the autopilot thing is pretty interesting. It's going to be an interesting month. We get 5 Tuesdays with you guys. I did notice that. Yes, I did.
I know I made all our documents today. So
Yeah, I saw them. I was like, whoa.
It'll be a good
I'm doing it, baby.
But Gracia,
on the-
definitely check out the screen time. So in your settings, you
Oh.
go to the screen time and it's
Jackie, I'm the one who told you, and you were like, "Oh, that's interesting." Remember?
the downtime where you can schedule it.
So I'm terrible. I am terrible. I've had screen time on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I put an hour a day.
No, this is specifying the time because I
that you
have
can
that
get
too.
into it.
Yes, because I just changed it this week to where it won't even let me click it before a certain time in the morning. And so that would really help with what you're saying. Like literally I just started this week and I'm like, okay, I can't go there. I didn't even think about it, but I had to have that block for me not to go there.
I just did that to my son's phone. I should do it to my own, huh? And
There
it's
you
funny.
go.
It says how we pick apart, especially with our own kids sometimes. So we pick apart the things on them that we need to take care of. So
For sure.
I have definitely did this to him, and it's hard because I got to set the example. But you know what? I will try that. But that whole screen time on the app limit, that shit is a waste because I can just hit 15
Ignore.
more minutes. Yeah, ignore or free for the whole day. And And when I tell you, she said, oh, I lost myself on Instagram for 10 minutes. Try losing yourself on freaking social media for 2-3 hours. You feel broken, heart. It's not good. It's a very bad night. I've really contemplated on just freaking deleting it all. And I tell myself I need it for real estate and work and posting and
See, I think I don't like deleting it because that takes away your ability to take ownership of your actions. So whenever someone's, I've deleted social media, I'm like, so you have no willpower. That's what it says to me.
And I'd be like, yes, Monica.
I think it can be helpful
Bye,
though,
Cleva.
just to help cut.
Working on it, Monica.
Yeah, sometimes, especially if Grace is
I'm
saying,
harder on
like,
myself than that. I'm like, no, you ain't no punk. You leave that on there.
delete it and
Right.
give yourself that obstacle. If you really need to check something, you'll frickin' get either, because maybe you start using it on your computer more than you do on your phone. Like
I
different.
actually like somebody said that they don't, I think, I can't remember who it was, her name, Kima. She said that she doesn't have her, or somebody said, Sheila does not have her work email on her phone. And that made me think. I was like, oh, that's an interesting thought right there. Not putting access at your fingertips.
Totally.
I like someone also said replying to people, dropping, stopping, and taking time. I think it was also, no, that was her name. I'm not sure.
Aklima.
But that was also what she said. And I find myself doing that. And that's also something that I'm like, you know what? They can wait.
Yep.
Totally.
It's me.
But having
I'm the
that
problem.
same,
They're fine. They're not rushing.
they're good. And like she was saying, she created her own like worst expectations because once she started it, then they're like, well, haven't you responded to me? And you're like,
yeah,
shit, I made that happen.
That is exactly right.
For the bathroom thing, I used to be the same way. That would be my thing. I'd wake up in the morning, be like, I gotta pee, I'll take my phone with me, I'm gonna start the scroll. And I stopped. As soon as I'd be like, what kind of a psycho? Just you don't need to go get your phone. Stop. And
You
I
want
would
to talk about terrible
force
habits?
myself not to.
You could also take it to the bathroom and only use social media when you're on the toilet. So that way you get your time to do it. But then when you're done, so that way you're limiting yourself to the toilet for social media.
Yeah, once your butt starts hurting, you know you gotta go.
Yeah, 45 minutes later. That's how you get hemorrhoids.
People start getting worried about you.
Social media is at night. At night. That's it. That's really the main one.
No, I'm telling you that time block is a game changer. Where you wake up and you're like, oh, I can't click that app. Okay. And I literally like just started checking my sleep score instead, and I check my natural cycles app, and I do my Trello stuff, and then I'm like, all right, ready to go.
And I'm breaking some autopilot. So this is a good way to start the month. By the way, it's my birthday month. Just putting it out there. Not a big birthday person, but unlike Miss Magnificent over here, we're gonna shout out. I'm kidding.
It's hilarious. That's funny.
That's so funny.
I love it. But yeah, happy birthday month to Gracia. She's gotta take the whole damn month. That's crazy.
Let's go.
That's funny. You guys ready for a meditation?
Let's do it.
Sweet.
Close your eyes. Get into a comfortable seated position. We're going to start by taking a deep breath in through our nose and a slow exhale through our mouth. Feeling our body soften with each exhale. 2 more deep breaths in, filling your belly first, then your chest. Filling your body with so much air, you feel like you can't hold another sip of air. And then slowly exhale through your mouth, controlling how quickly you exhale, drawing it out for as long as you can. Feeling your abdomen tighten as you push out all the stale air from the day. And then feeling how good that next breath of air feels. How fresh that air feels. as you fill your lungs up with your next breath, just imagining your body softening, relaxing, becoming pliable, flexible, open to change, open to changing habits, changing beliefs, changing stuck thoughts about who we are, what we do, the things that we're supposed to do, that we have to do, changing beliefs about the things that will fall apart if we don't do X, Y, Z. Finding those patterns where things feel really rigid, where we feel maybe stuck. Just think about your day, how it starts. Does it start with intention? Start from the moment you realize you're awake. Before your feet touch the ground, what's the first thought that pops into your head every day? Maybe that's a good place to start. Changing that habit, changing that autopilot. Maybe your first thought is, I'm so tired. Today's going to be crazy. I'm already behind. Whatever limiting belief that pops up first thing, maybe start there. Take a deep breath in when you wake up. Start with gratitude. So grateful I woke up this morning. I'm so curious what happens today. I wonder what kind of adventure I'm going to go on today. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to do the best that I can. I'm so grateful to be in this bed. So grateful to be under this roof. Grateful to be in this home. I'm grateful to be by myself, or I'm grateful to be near my partner. I'm grateful for the coffee I'm about to have. Grateful for my dogs waiting for me. I'm grateful for the clothes that I'm wearing, not wearing. For these sheets that are so soft, cool. I'm grateful that the sun is shining. I'm grateful that it's raining and I can be slow and quiet. Start with a small list of 5 things, and every morning add something to the list. Make it 6 and 7. And then even if you want to start moving as you're putting your clothes on or your slippers or you're getting dressed or you're walking to the bathroom, keep going with the list. I'm so grateful my legs work. I'm so grateful I have running water. Starting our day with intentional choices, intentional thoughts, intentional gratitude and thanks for the things that we have. Start your day in a way that maybe you've never started before. Maybe it'll help you be more present. Maybe it'll help you notice when you fall out of gratitude or fall out of being present in the moment. But that one little catalyst can change the whole trajectory of your day. And when you see that you can change the first thing that you do, when you're able to change your usual habits, the thing that may be the most unconscious, as soon as you wake up, and you can become more conscious, it shows you what you're capable of. It shows you that you can change anything. It shows you that you have a choice. So give yourself that gift, starting your day before touching anything, touching your phone, opening your laptop, opening the fridge, opening anything, touching anything, before you even take your covers off. Start your day with some gratitude. Grateful for yourself. Grateful for this magical mind that can do anything that it wants. Anything that you can imagine. And then experiment with other habits in your day, other thoughts that just run on autopilot. Try something new. Challenge yourself. Studies have shown that people who are more intentional with their day, people who take the time to interrupt their autopilot, are less likely to develop dementia, Alzheimer's. Creating these disruptors keeps our brain on its toes, keeps our brain from getting stale, creates neural pathways, keeps it sharp, figuring out our next step. And most importantly, it puts you back in the driver's seat. It puts your soul and your heart in charge of what direction your day goes in, so that your mind doesn't just leave you in autopilot. It allows you to live a soul-led life, a conscious life, a life that you can be proud of. So let's start small tomorrow morning with some gratitude and see What other things that can trigger for you throughout the day? Your body will begin to crave it. Your mind will crave it. On the mornings that you forget, you'll feel off. And you'll be reminded that you didn't start your day with intention, with a conscious connection, with love. Take a deep breath in and imagine you starting your day with this connection to your consciousness, to your heart. Taking 2 more deep breaths in, imagining the lightness, the little pep in your step you'll have. Starting your day off on the right foot. In the right state of mind. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight, sharing your time and your energy. We appreciate you so much. The light in me sees and recognizes the light in each of you. Namaste. Feel free to stretch, wiggle your fingers and your toes, and then open your eyes and come back to the room.
Thank you for that, Monica. That was great. Good reminder to, even when you're talking about just before you get out of the bed, to just have that gratitude. I think that's huge, of a shift of starting your day with intention, of because it's so easy. The alarm goes
So
off,
easy.
you just roll out of bed and you're like,
Crazy. I just remember all the times, like, the 9 to 5 days where I'd wake up, be like, ugh, I'm so exhausted. I gotta get to work. Ugh, I don't want to shower. Oh, it's whatever. And then the whole day would just be ugh. And I already started it that way. And when I started doing this, I literally like hop out of bed, like, all right, what's this day about? And that might be part of I need to be grateful for the ability to not open my phone and not have to do something as soon as I wake up. Like I create my days. So maybe I'm adding that to my repertoire, is being grateful that I do have the ability to start my day however I want. There is no schedule. That autopilot, I'm just like, all right, what are we doing? Let's get to work. And so while I have the gratitude part down, because before I wake up, I do that every day, or before I get out of bed. I think I need to just add to my list of I'm so grateful for the choice of not having to touch my phone for the first hour, not opening my laptop for the first hour.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like this quote too at the end of the document. It says, life doesn't change when you do more, it changes when you choose differently. I think that's a good one too. A mic drop right there. Because sometimes people just think doing more means more, and yeah,
I do.
that's not the case. Sometimes doing more is setting you back.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a good reminder one I found. I was like, ooh.
All right, everyone. Thanks for sticking around to the end. I know we went pretty past.
I know.
But I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you all next week.
Doodles.
Thanks, ladies. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.